we shall next discuss another strategy to perform sorting. The strategy is like this: compare adjacent elements and place the max out of these two on the right. So minus 1 max is 10, so it is placed on the right as it is. Then the other elements are placed as it is. Then in the next iteration I compare 2 and 3. Now max is 10, so swap. So array becomes minus 1, 6, 10, 100, minus 10 and 8. Next what I do, I compare 10 and 100. Max is on the right, so no swap. Then I compare 100 and minus 10, so I need to swap. So minus 1, 6, 10, minus 10, 100, followed by 8. In the last iteration I compare these two, so it becomes minus 1, 6, 10, minus 10, 8 and 100. So at the end of first pass, pass 1, you see that max is at A of n. In fact, that's our invariant or loop invariant. Next what I do, I work with this array, follow the same strategy. Compare these two and max is on the right, then compare these two, max is on the right, compare these two, then it requires swaps. So it becomes minus 1, 6, minus 10 and 10, followed by 8. This A of n is as it is. Now compare these two, so max is placed on the right, so it becomes this. So now you see that at the end of pass 2, at the end of pass 2, max is at A of n and second max is at A of n minus 1. So like that we keep doing this. Then you see that max, max 1, second max, third max and so on. At the end of n passes, you see that the array is sorted. So this strategy gets a name, bubble sort. And even this, we keep building a sorted array, a sorted subarray, sorted subarray, and like that it goes. And so you see that this also follows incremental design. So it's like these are all subarrays which we keep growing, and suddenly you get to see that at the end of n passes, the entire array is sorted. Now we want to know the number of comparisons, to perform this computation. Please note the fundamental operations are, we do two things, right? Fundamental operations are, one is comparison, and in some cases we also swap. So there are two things. But you see that comparison takes place all the time, swap depends on the context or the input. Which means out of these two, this one is primitive operation. Which is why we focus on the number of comparisons. So let T of n denote the number of comparisons to sort an array of size n. So number of comparisons to sort an array of size this, that's precisely our T of n. Now what is the value of this? What are we doing? We are comparing adjacent elements. We are comparing this, we are comparing this, we are comparing this. In the process, wherever swap is required, we swap the elements as well. And now you see that how many comparisons we need to get max. We incur n minus 1 comparisons. Then we perform this algorithm or strategy with respect to this array. Number of comparisons for that is t of n minus 1. And we see that this one is same as selection sort, so the time complex t is theta of n square. So very similar to selection sort, over here also if you look at the best case where it is already sorted or almost sorted, so something like this, or it is almost sorted, something like this, maybe something like this. So now you see that if this being the case, we still compare and swap if necessary, but only thing is number of swaps comes down, but comparisons remain the same. I compare these two, then I compare these two, and so on. So there is no change in the number of comparisons according to the input. So for both best case and worst case, we see that bubble sort incurs theta of n square, which means the efficiency or the speed up, if you look at it, both bubble sort and selection sort, they perform so both bubble sort and selection sort, both of them they behave identically for a given input. If it is best case, both of them are incurring theta of n square. If it is worst case, both of them are incurring theta of n square, and it is not varying according to the input. So that's the thing. So one can actually look at this. If it is a best case input, say what is the number of comparisons? We saw that it is theta of n square. Now what is the number of swaps? You see that we keep comparing and there is no swap at all. For example, if this being the case, you see that there is no swap at all. If this being the case, yes, we swap over here. So which means number of swaps is some constant. In some cases it is 0. For example, if the input is already sorted, you see that there is no swap at all. But there are inputs where some part of the array, few elements are sorted. That is, constant this thing. So few elements are out of place and maximum number of elements are sorted, almost sorted. Which means few elements are out of place. So few elements are out of order, they are not in sorted order. Okay, which means you incur constant number of this is few meaning constant number of elements, so which means constant number of swaps. But if you look at the worst case input, you see that both are theta of n square. Both number of comparisons and number of swaps, both are theta of n square. Fine. So you see that number of swaps, something like compare swap, like that it happens. So there are inputs where number of comparisons and number of swaps, if you see, their growth is identical. In the worst case, it is theta of n square. Which means our previous question is still open. Can sorting be done in little o of n square? And it's a discovery, so let's spend some more time and experiment and look for a different strategy in an attempt to answer whether can sorting be done in little o of n square.